1 week in January, we had 12 adolescents from Daytop.
We're an adolescent facility, and we work with teenagers who have a primary diagnosis of a substance use disorder. Most of them have co-occurring mental health disorders, and they're referred to us through the juvenile justice system, the education system, and the care management organizations throughout the state.
We had them come here for 1 week in an intense program in which they trained dogs. They were in teams, teams of 2, and they had 6 dogs, and they trained them.
The first command that I think that we were instructed to teach our dog that we were assigned was eye contact, which was basically putting a treat in front of their nose and bringing it up to your face so that they made eye contact and rewarding them and saying yes, marking the command, which is another thing that you have to do when you are teaching a dog a trick.
Definitely one thing with the dog I was working with, she didn't really trust a lot at first, but she wasn't aggressive or anything. She just needed to be worked with a little bit before she would trust you to do some agility things like walking up a plank and onto a table. She had a really hard time with that at first, but we worked through it because she learned to trust us as we worked with her for a while. And yeah, I feel like she learned a lot and made definite progress over the week.
They haven't been given much responsibility in their life because they've failed at a lot of things, and whether it's because of their own abilities or because they were put in a position where they were sort of destined to fail, they don't think that they're able to achieve things, and they don't think that they necessarily deserve to have trust given to them.
I wanted them to be able to achieve something that they might never have done. I really didn't know what life was like at Daytop. I only learned that in the weeks, in the days from Eric, how what we did served their recovery and also serve them as adolescents and young adults.
And here we have a group of kids that are struggling with things like patience and tolerance and understanding. And it's so important for them to see the good results and the rewards of those behaviors. And with the animals, they get that reward kind of more quickly.
We began this program a few years ago to really target at-risk youth. We have a fabulous humane education program, but really wanted to dive deeper into where we thought an even greater impact was needed.
We get donations from different sources, and then we go to different sites where there are food pantries, and we give out these donations with the hope that the families would better be able to keep hold of their animals, not surrender them because lack of resources. Well, we wanted the kids involved in that. We wanted them to be part of that community, so they stuffed boxes and bags and goodies.
The tie-in with our community outreach and food bank seemed a natural one with them because they were here at the animal shelter where they saw homeless animals in need of a home. We brought out food and supplies and things and put them together and worked together, bagging up food and sorting supplies and getting things ready for the deliveries that we would make. There would be a family feeding their pet its meals for a week that they would never meet or never know, but their effort in making that happen tied them to their community and to that family because their effort helped to make that happen.
They got to work together, they got to see another part of community service, and a number of them said to me, we've been on the other end of that. We've been the receivers, so it's great to be able to be the givers in this way.
At St. Hubert's Animal Welfare Center, we provide an array of programs to address animal welfare from all angles.
We wanted to put them in a program where they would become animal advocates in the future.
We learned a lot about the way that animals like cows and chickens and pigs, how they are treated before you eat them.
How can people be so cruel and neglect these animals? And it just makes me infuriated with the fact like they're being treated like this.
I didn't know anything about that exactly. Like I had heard things, but like I never really saw it. And when I saw it, it really made an impact on me, and I could definitely spread that and tell different people about that.
We always have to go upriver and speak with youth and try to change the laws that are out there and to really do the most that can be done for the cause.
We just picked out of a bag who was going to be paired up with who. No one had to team up with who they wanted to. These kids who didn't necessarily like one another or didn't have relationships with one another were being paired together. And if they were given an assignment to work on that didn't have to do with an animal or with this beautiful, loving creature in front of them, they easily could have given up. But the animal was the bond that brought them together and that got them to work together.
I wasn't really happy about the partner I had because me and him have issues with each other back at Daytop, but I realized this is not the time and place to argue, debate, give him an attitude when we're both at Daytop for the same reason. We're working with a dog and training him. It doesn't matter. And in life, you're going to have to work with people that you're not going to necessarily get along with. And I was really surprised how we actually got along, and it kind of brought us closer together, especially some of the residents here. We all grew a stronger bond with each other that I haven't seen in a while. I'm happy to say that me and my partner Jesus did a really good job with Caesar, and I wouldn't ask for a better partner.
One of the nicest things is that they had more confidence with one another as well. So when they went back to the facility, they were able to rely on one another as the group that came here to help them overcome some of the barriers that they had.
On the last day, in the dog training part of the week, we have a graduation, and the trainers have worked with the kids over the 5 days, and they will each get up as a team and show some of the key things that they have done with their dogs.
There were ramps, there were very small tables, and there was a big one and a little one, depending on the dog you had. There was jumps, which was you can set the bar as high as you want, but of course you start at the lowest level so that your dog knows what to do and gets the idea first.
It benefits the participants in ways that we didn't even anticipate, and we hear that from parents or counselors or people in their lives.
Coming here and working with the dogs and achieving things that maybe they didn't otherwise think that they would be able to do, it boosted their self-esteem, and then when they went back into the community at Daytop, they were able to take those same principles and apply them.
I feel like we worked as a team to get a result that we wanted, and it helped us form a connection, me and another resident, and I feel like that's part of what Daytop does. We have to work as a team to help each other in recovery.
I've never had a week solid with kids where I could see day by day by day their progress and the effect that we've had on them.
This is the second time we've done a program like this, and every kid that participated came back with something better, and their life has been improved because of it.
We are dependent on people who see what programs like this can do in order for us to be able to continue them, and we believe in it very much. We've seen it, and we're going to do everything we can to make it possible to go forward.
I got a dog that was, very hyper and, was just a handful. And that's what I am. I'm a handful. And we have problems and we have issues, just like these dogs. We're rehabilitating together. So working with these dogs, they're helping me and I'm helping them, but we're not that much different.
Like, I've learned how to handle people because I learned how to handle a dog.
I'm glad I got the opportunity to do this because I grew a strong bond with one of the dogs that I'm training here, and he just lifts my spirits whenever I see him. So I feel like I'm giving back to him, just like Daytop's giving back to me for another chance.